In May 2019, the House of Representatives passed the Equality Act. Among other things, the act looks to prohibit discrimination against sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. This is very important to the LGBT community. What should be equally important is the 26 deaths of transgender women reported in 2018. But are you ready for that conversation though? I'm your host, Mario Anderson, and this is Conversations 101. Once again, welcome to Conversations 101, where we talk, share your views, and get real. I am joined today by a ballroom legend who is a new recording artist, and she is here to discuss some topics related to the LGBT community. I am very pleased and thankful to have the beautiful Giselle Hilton here. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for
Good,
having me.
good. I wanted to ask first, when we get started, first off, of course, how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing.
I know before when we were off camera, you said that you had traveled here from Pittsburgh, so I know that was a travel for you. So I definitely want to say thank you so much for doing that. Again, I can't thank you enough.
Thank you for having me. This is very important to me. So
thank you. And yeah, it is a very important topic. I feel like we don't, have forums often, so it's good that I can, sit down and share this experience with you. First question for you, trans visibility is such a big thing in 2019. We have Pose, we have My House, we have all of these different shows showing different aspects of our community. I guess, what is that like for you to be in a world now where trans people are so present?
I think that it's an amazing time to be here and to be a part of this and to witness this. Trans women kind of been in the dark for so long, so I think the visibility is amazing because we are deserving of the same opportunities as everyone else. I think Pose is amazing representation of the trans community and how we stick together and how, the ballroom scene kind of ties into who we are and the confidence that we gained through it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's amazing.
And I love going to balls. I'll say we went to, because we were there in the summertime, and kind of seeing you guys do your things. You can't help but to want to get up and kick it and just have a good time. So it is nice when you can come around and be a part of the community, and there's space for everyone. And then speaking on your ballroom status, can you tell us a little bit about your legendary status, as I did say, and I guess a little bit more about the ballroom scene?
Okay, well, in the ballroom scene, you have legends, stars, and statements. Legends being the highest rank. Usually legends have been a part of the ballroom scene for about 10 years or so and put in a lot of work in your category and your presentation and what you bring and your impact to the ballroom scene. I've been a part of the scene for about 10 years, of course. Mm-hmm. I'm a performer, so the ballroom scene to me is a place of freedom. So I think that, I'm sorry, what was the question again? Oh, sorry.
Well, tell us a little bit about your ballroom status.
Okay, my ballroom status. So I told you about being legend, right?
Yeah, about being legendary.
Okay,
yeah. And then what about you? And you're a legend. So also, I guess and this is a big thing. I know they highlighted this at the ball as well, was that you started your own house.
Yes.
And that is the House of Machiavelli.
Yes.
So tell me where the name originated and why you made that decision to go ahead and be that house mother for the House of Machiavelli.
When we started the House of Machiavelli, I was just previously leaving another house that has been established for 25 years in the ballroom scene, an iconic house that is...
What's that house?
The House of Revlon.
Okay.
Is amazing. I left the House of Revlon and I felt like it was my job, and it was like God sending me a message to bring a new light to ballroom and to bring a new approach to ballroom. So I wanted to kind of revolutionize my own story and what I'm going to do for the next years to come in ballroom. Mm-hmm. So I just decided to start my own house to be the face of, the newer generation and to take that responsibility in my own hands to create the story.
Yeah, it is important too with the new generation to make sure, they're not feeling outcast, because as you said, with the whole Pose thing and how the transgender community sticks together, really in any situation when you can find, a good set of gay, bi, trans people, I think, that sets you up because you just have a foundation now. And then how many, I guess you could say, if you think statewide, here in Ohio, how many Machiavellis are there, and what does it take to be a Machiavelli?
Okay, so in Ohio, I think we have about 10 members. Nationwide, we have 100. We're an international house now, too, as well. So we have
Big
members
things.
overseas as well, also Costa Rica. What it takes to be a Machiavelli, I would say that we look for authentic people, people who are unapologetically themselves. Unapologetically themselves.
Absolutely.
And that have a talent that sticks out and it's unforgettable. We want people who will also make moments on the floor, but also off the floor, are very family orientated and enjoys the brotherhood and the sisterhood of other individuals.
And I guess I want to bring up also what's also important. I think you see on polls, you see them, they win trophies more so. And in the real ballroom scene, you find there's money on the line most cases. So it's like you want to definitely bring something to the table because you could bring home that big bank for the family. So that's important. So if anybody out there wants to be a Machiavelli, we'll have information below. So you guys can definitely check that out. And I did say earlier that the Human Rights Campaign was the one who reported the 26 deaths of transgender women. And most of them being of color. And I want to say we had about 3 in the city of Cleveland last year. Do you feel that now with trans visibility being so present, that these, I would say, deaths would decrease or increase? I guess you can say with the climate in the world, honesty, I guess, is a big thing. Integrity is a big thing. So, is it that deaths are occurring because they don't know, or I guess, well, if I go back to that original question, do you feel that there will be an increase or a decrease because of that fact that trans is so visible now?
I think that bringing a light to any harmful situation will help for the better. The world we live in, I think that it's very important that we bring things to the light so that we can seek justice, because a lot of trans deaths just get thrown under the rug, subjected to certain visual ideas that people may have in their head of how the death may have came, so they don't want to publicize it. So I think that now that we're bringing the light to the trans deaths, it's an amazing thing, and I think that it's going to help stop the violence.
And I guess to add to what you said was the visualization, because I know I read some articles myself and they were saying they were misgendering. So you may be presenting yourself as a female, but to the public, they may say, well, he was murdered. And so I feel like, with that highlighting now, there'll be the opportunity to get that respect put on your name, like Birdman put that respect on my name. We want to make sure, you know who this person is, and make sure they know, this is not right what's going on. And I love Pose. I definitely love Pose. I haven't checked out My House. I've seen a couple of episodes. I know the girl who is on Pose, she also was on My House as well, I want to say. She's a Mugler, I want to say. Yeah, so she follows me on Twitter. She's very cool. So recently, CNN held their very first town hall meeting. I want to say it was either last Thursday or Friday. And they discussed LGBT topics. And one that they brought up was Pulse nightclub. And I know, of course, you're in Pittsburgh. You've been to Akron, of course. And we have the Interbelt there where we party and we club. Do you feel, since that has happened, do you feel that there's been a change, I guess, in the scene? Are you more reserved when it comes to going out, or are you open to going out? Does anything change your mind? And I know you're also doing music now too. So does anything come as a red flag to you now since that's occurred?
It's devastating what happened to the Pulse victims and families. So for one, that definitely brought awareness to me, especially being a traveling artist and getting booked for different shows in different clubs. It does not stop me from continuing on with my career, but it definitely makes myself more conscious of where I do go and the stages that I do grace, because, it's just not a safe word out there. Anything can happen anywhere you go. So I'm the type of person who just lives my life, I do pay attention to what's going on around me, but I'm still going to reach higher for my goals. So hopefully with my new mixtape and like my visuals, it'll start bringing another light to the deaths in the situations that have been happening in the LGBT community to stop the violence.
All right. Well, I definitely hope that happens. So, yeah, we can definitely move to that lighter subject. So it's mixtape 89606, Volume 1. And can you tell us a little bit about that? I know it dropped in the summertime.
89606 Volume 1 was my first public EP that I've released. And it's more of a hip hop feel. You know, I tapped into a different side of me and my artistry, and I'm very, very proud of that project. It's on SoundCloud. You know, if anyone wants to check it out, it'll be on all music platforms very soon. I kind of reached into kind of a dark place with that mixtape, though. I was in a bad situation when I wrote a lot of the songs on that album, so I just had to express that for my own therapeutic use.
Okay. And if I can ask this final question, what should the public look forward to from Giselle?
The public should look forward from me. I do have another project getting ready to drop in probably about 4 months from now. And I am also working on branding my house on a larger scale, making it an LLC, and trying to get some nonprofit organizations flowing here in the Ohio area so that we can do community work, you know.
Okay. Great, great. Well, we can definitely talk about that in a few. Now, of course, once again, I definitely want to thank you for being my guest here and discussing something very close to our hearts, of course. I do want to thank you guys for checking out Conversations 101 with myself, your host, Mario Anderson. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Share if you care, and have a great night.